So really want to thank you guys for hosting our coming out party. We're really excited to be here. And I think we're all at this show because content's never been better, right? But access to that content on the biggest screen, your TV, is really a struggle, right? We own giant piles of boxes, right? Game consoles.
Closets full of them, actually.
Closets, yes. Stacks and closets. And so we created Caavo to really address this challenge. And this is Caavo right here. So Caavo has 8 HDMI inputs. So just connect all of your favorite entertainment devices, plug them right in.
So it's like a giant HDMI switcher box?
Yeah. But you see there's no labeled inputs, right?
Mm-hmm.
You don't need to worry about what's HDMI 1 or 2. We automatically detect what you've connected and configure them for control.
In other words, you detect you detect if it's a Roku or an Apple TV or a cable box, or what else can you plug into this?
So pretty much any streamer, all your pay TV,
over there.
Blu-ray players, anything that's HDMI. You have an older Wii, you could adapt that and plug that right.
How about an Xbox or PlayStation?
Oh yeah, absolutely. Xbox, PlayStation.
Okay.
In fact, we got them all stacked up right here.
Okay.
And there's what's the 3.5 millimeter jack for?
So that's for IR. Yep. And we got 2 USB ports for just power back there. Sometimes you might have a stick or whatnot. And then we have an Ethernet connector, but we also have built-in Wi-Fi.
Okay.
So when you plug in all your devices and you set
and
up,
you have wood. We shouldn't forget
Yes.
that, right?
so beautiful bamboo.
So you need a coaster.
Yeah, we have cutting boards.
Cutting boards, yeah.
And when you set up Caavo, you sign into all of your services. So now you can have all of your...
Even if you're already signed into them on the various different boxes.
Absolutely. Okay. So with Caavo, we actually don't run any applications or play any content directly. We actually link to content and apps across all the devices you own.
You link to the service, or you deep link into the shows?
Both.
So it's not just a skin. The interface is not just a skin over existing apps. It's
Right.
actually interactive itself.
Absolutely.
Yeah. So I think one unique distinction is that when you log into your services, what we do is we pull your continue watching list, so we know exactly what you're watching, so we can take you right to that episode that you left off at. Right. So that's
Come
the
on.
magic. Yeah.
All right.
Shut the front door. Let's see.
You're testing me, so we're gonna.
And
Okay.
what we thought we'd do, you gave us an Alexa dot, so we'd just
We did.
open. Yeah. Even though we could do all this with our remote, we thought we'll.
Yeah, but you owe us for that.
Yes.
So you can do voice control with the remote, but
Yep.
you're going to do it now with a dot.
Yep.
And that's through, it's not directly integrated into the box, it's through a skill.
That's
What
yes.
we're calling an Alexa skill. Okay.
So now I'm gonna talk into Alexa and hold up to my mic. Alexa, open Caavo,
Welcome to Caavo.
play Stranger Things.
Playing Stranger Things.
So what you would notice is the TV turns on. So we knew that the TV was off, right? It turns on. If the TV was on, it would not turn off. Okay.
So I don't know if you can all see that, but it says Netflix, Stranger Things, Chapter 3 from Apple TV.
Yep. So it took you right to the show where you left off, the exact episode where you were watching. And since we said that Netflix was your preferred device for Netflix was Apple TV, it just launched it on Apple TV.
But I don't see Apple's interface. Eddie Q's gone, but he might not
Those
be happy
wires
about
look like the back of your TV.
Yeah, I think we got to care about content. I think Eddie Q himself is going into content, so maybe he cares about
Maybe.
content. Yep.
A lot of people have said maybe about Apple, but okay. So, but it went into the Apple TV. I could have made Roku, because everybody has Netflix, right? So
Yep.
I could have made any of these
Yep.
guys. And it didn't bother with any interface. It didn't. I didn't have to know a number of HDMI. It just went right to the show.
It knew your preference, that your
Yep.
preference was watching, well, I guess Stranger Things
Okay,
would be
cool.
only on Netflix. But
So we'll show you how we do all this too.
Okay.
So we have a little lightweight UI that sits on top of all your devices. These are all the devices that we plugged in. We got 8 of them here. Stack right there. Dish, Roku, Apple TV, Fire TV, PS4, Xbox, Chromecast, and a Blu-ray player.
Do you see what I see? Do you see what I'm seeing up there?
I do.
So you've got an Apple TV icon next to an Amazon
Yep.
Video.
But what's more important is we have all the apps, right? So these are all the apps that you care about in one place.
So wait, again, to hit on Lauren's point, it says
Yep.
Amazon, and right below it, it says iTunes. on the same screen.
And I think to hone in the point, the reason why we can do this is because we don't run any apps, but we deep link into these apps across those devices.
Okay.
And what about cable?
We have that too. So when you sign into all of your watch lists, we get continue watching, but we also retrieve your DVR lists. So you have your DVR list. These are all the recordings on my DVR. And then these are all my Netflix shows that I've been watching, Chef's Table, Stranger Things, Amazon, original content and stuff that I've purchased on Amazon, HBO Now, Hulu, Showtime, and Vudu.
And it could be others if I've,
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
you don't have any specific limitations on that.
Only-
It's whatever I've signed into and have a subscription to and whatever.
Only if they pay us millions of dollars, but no.
Only if they pay millions of dollars, yeah.
No, we don't. We are
Okay.
really, yeah.
So I showed you the cold start with Alexa, but I can also do all of this with voice.
All right?
So we're gonna watch Star Wars. I think everybody loves that movie. Watch Star Wars. So when I say watch, it really says, go do this for me. It's in one of my watch lists or in continue
In
watching.
this case, it's Amazon.
Yes.
Yeah, because the key here is Andrew purchased Star Wars on Amazon, and we know that. So it took him to the content.
Oh, so he owns this. This
Okay.
is from the download
Okay.
era.
Yep, yep.
Okay.
What if it was for sale in a couple of different content stores? Would it default to the one that would give you the best deal?
No, so we do a search and then we present you with all of your free paid subscription content and then all of the pay options.
So I think, Lauren, this is a very important point so what we want to do is, as long as you've explicitly linked your content to a service, we'll take you directly there. But the very first time when you search for any service, you have to explicitly tell us where you want to launch, because the content is available on multiple places. So we don't want to decide that for you where to go. But the very first time you do it, the next time on, we'll take you directly.
But if you had said, instead of Star Wars, if you had said transparent,
Yep. Transparent. So now this will do a search for transparent. And I've actually watched season 1, episode 2. So I could continue watching, or I could dig into further seasons and pick out.
but my point is it's only going to come up on the Amazon Fire
Yeah, absolutely.
or on the Amazon service on Roku or something. It's not going to come up on the Apple TV because they
Exactly.
don't have Amazon.
Exactly.
And if, when, thinking back to last night, when Apple introduces that
Planet
app,
of the
Planet of the
Apps.
Apps,
How could you forget the name?
it's already out of my mind. It would come out of the Apple TV. I'm not going to say any more. Come out of the Apple TV.
But so I can also watch stuff on my DVR, right? So I recorded Big Bang Theory. Watch the Big Bang Theory. So that just goes to the most.
Now it says Dish,
No.
but if I have Comcast, would it
Yes.
work with that?
By the time we give you the unit in your hand, the answer is yes.
Okay.
So why has nobody done this before? Why has no one put everything into one interface like this and said, we're playing equally as nice with all of the
Yeah.
content providers and app stores, we're just creating an interface?
I think this question, I'd probably refer back to Blake. And when we got together, he's like, he wanted to do this startup, and this was the competing startup with Sling, deciding what to do. And nobody's done it from then to now. Because I think the problem.
14 years?
Yeah. I think the problem is a hard one. Like if you look at what's gone inside and how the dance with different various partners had to be done, I think we have to be really, really neutral and be very careful, because each of them have put enough amount of energy to make these experiences unique for their boxes, and we have to safeguard those. But the technology itself is huge and complex right now. I think it's going to simplify over the next few years as people see this, start to build silicon around it, start to build other things around
But this is not a simple matter of switching between sources, because you have to have access, to the APIs in each of these boxes?
it. Yeah, absolutely. Like launching content directly on Apple TV or on Roku or on Dish or DirecTV. And we're going to show you some other stuff where you can automatically switch even without a remote. That required a huge amount of effort. Yeah.
So have you shown this to Apple and Amazon and said, here's what we're doing, and they're on board?
Yes, absolutely.
Okay.
Yep.
So you're not expecting any like cease and desist letters anytime soon?
Yeah, well, we got Hearst, and I think Scott English promises us that he can defend us if we get those, but I don't expect.
Okay.
So all that pile of boxes,
Yep.
can I put that in a closet? Or?
Absolutely.
So in a sense, these people might want me to, watch shows on their thing, and I know that I can do it through here, but in a sense, you're taking over. That remote is the only remote I need. That box is the only box I need. I mean, I need the other boxes, but visibly under my TV, it's this box, right?
And
Yeah.
you could also even
Good idea
hide
to hold
this.
it up. It's, it's not tiny like a Roku or an Apple TV, but it's pretty thin.
It's light too.
Yeah, and very quickly, I want to show you one very interesting feature that we worked on, because living room TV is really a shared experience. So while you may set it up for yourself and you may be comfortable using our remote, what is important is when your father-in-law walks in, wants to watch a game, or your kid wants to watch, or your neighbors or your friends come over and they want to use a remote, we didn't want to say, oh, go learn this, even though it's very easy to do. We said all these remotes have to work, right? So if, let's say I'm going to turn off the TV, okay, you said, okay, don't even talk about Caavo remote. I'm going to just leave these two remotes on my coffee table, and said, go ahead and play a game.
Well, you want to play PS4, don't you?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Please, just start PS4. Okay. So what we do is we recognize that you're using the PS4, TV was off, TV is going to turn on, and you're going to find yourself directly on the PS4.
And in this case, they're using a different technology to turn.
Everybody is using a
What?
different technology. Yeah.
You literally just pick up any remote that is on your table and you go boop,
Yeah.
and it turns the TV on. And
But now I'm not
Steal the
operating.
session.
Now I'm not operating Caavo. I'm just directly.
Yes, but the Caavo is the broker in
Okay.
between. Yeah.
But in a sense, you're still operating Caavo because Caavo maintains state of all these boxes. So this remote control still works, right?
Valentine's Day, Lauren.
Yeah.
Valentine's from Roku.
Yep. And I think one more thing that we actively worked on is, most devices when they come on, they work when you set it up the first time, but they don't live the life of your TV experience. I think we really wanted this to live. Like you bring in a new device, how easy it is to set up. If you move a device to a different room, it's like what happens? Like, okay, we're going to disconnect an Apple TV and just,
I'm going to disconnect the Apple TV.
It's like a magic trick, right?
Yep.
Now I'm going to disconnect the Apple TV.
Okay, let's see. Do we have an Apple TV in our system anymore? Let's see. Sources.
This is the nothing up my sleeve
It's
part.
gone.
Oh.
So let's do Stranger Things again, right?
Right.
Watch Stranger Things. So we fall back.
So it fell back to Roku.
yep. Now the same show exactly.
Even though I had told Caavo that Apple TV was my preferred Netflix
Yeah,
place.
but now it knows-
it's not connected.
Yeah,
so.
so it knows you have Roku in your system, it defaulted back to Roku.
Okay.
How much is this going to
yeah,
cost?
how much will?
Yeah.
And when is it coming out?
So, I think this problem isn't solved at any price, and we really want to make it available mass market soon enough. When we come out of the gate, we're going to launch this for a very select set of customers, maybe even just 5,000 units this year. Make sure the experience is really dialed in. We're going to launch it in June and ship it around September for $399.
$399.
That means
High.
$400. That's a lot.
For now, I think for the set of guys who have all this content and
That's like half an iPhone. That's a
But
lot.
if you have all those, you've already spent
You spent a lot, yeah.
$400.
And what if I
alone.
don't like this particular wood?
We actually have 3 different species of wood we support. We got tiger wood, we got a beautiful mahogany, and then this is the bamboo. It's all totally
For
sustainable.
$400, shouldn't
Yeah.
you have 4 more species?
We can do some limited runs for you all.
Okay.
So only 5,000 customers to start
Yes.
in the first year of event.
This
Well,
year.
or really 4,999 because one of these is going to be in Mossberg's living room. I can tell already.
Yeah.
So, okay.
Actually, I know another guy who's going to buy one right the first day. So,
I think so too. There might be 3 of us.
last question.
Yep.
That's a lot of wires back there. How do you hide those?
Well, we did our best. You still got to connect cables to get to your TV. The Caavo design used pegs to sort of manage the cables so they don't turn into a puddled mess. But
That's not a mess there? Asa, take a picture of those wires.
that would be our next startup. How about that?
All right.
All right, Caavo, Andrew,
Cool.
Ashish, Thank you so much.
Thank you, guys.
Thank you for
Thank you.
showing this at Code.
Thanks so much.
Thank you.